Hello and welcome to Cox Connections. I'm your host, Catherine Falk, market leader for Cox Communications in Northern Virginia. Thank you for joining us today. The NextStop Theater is a non-profit professional black box theater in Herndon, Virginia. Here to tell us about their many programs and upcoming calendar of professional productions is Executive Director Evan Hoffman. Welcome, Evan. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Tell us about the mission of the NextStop Theater Group.
NextStop Theater Company is, as you said, a nonprofit professional theater company that is dedicated and focused on producing uniquely intimate, ambitious, and accessible theater in and for the Northern Virginia, specifically Dulles Corridor community.
And where are you located?
We are located in Herndon, Virginia. We actually have a 114-seat black box in an industrial park, the Sunset Business Park, right at the intersection of the Dulles Toll Road and Fairfax County Parkway.
Great. And what programs do you have that serve the community?
We have all kinds of programs, a wide variety. We're most famous for our main stage productions that we produce mainly for adult audiences, but some of them are for all ages. We produce musicals, Shakespeare, comedies, new works, classic plays, really sort of runs the gamut. We also have a very robust education program, and then we also have special events that are non-traditional theater programming that people would normally expect, like improv comedy and cabarets of jazz artists and other things that we bring in like that.
Great. And tell us about the educational programs, because you have an exciting event for children, right?
Yeah, we're really excited about it. I really love our education department. It's such an important part of what we do in engaging young people and introducing them to theater and installing a love of theater in them. This summer, we will be running our third year of a summer theater camp program that we call NextStop Theater Adventures. That serves students in kindergarten through fourth grade, and then other programs for fifth through rising ninth graders. And they're mainly 1 week camps that have improv focus or acting, or for the younger kids, a lot more of them are focused on engaging their imaginations and working together to create things.
Great. And those programs are, you said, in two sections, but then you also have an exciting array of programming, including some for kids coming up. So tell us about your projects right now.
Yeah, up in the next couple of months, we have a really great Theater for Young Audiences production of Snow White that we'll be producing, which has a little bit of a different spin. Our Snow White actually learns Kung Fu, so she's a little bit more able to help herself rather than wait for a prince to come and save her. We also have a series we call Dark Nights, which is, again, those special events. We have an improv comedy team coming in. We have a special cabaret that is going to be dedicated to the music of Bette Midler. The Gay Men's Chorus of Washington, D.C. is going to come in and do a concert of music by Stephen Sondheim and Barbra Streisand that they call the S Show. And then in a little bit after that, we have a great jazz musical that we're running in the spring called City of Angels, which is this wonderful musical that won a Tony Award for Best Musical in 1990, I believe, and is a film noir detective story, classic Casablanca or the Maltese Falcon inspired jazz musical. So we're excited about all those.
And you operate year-round, right?
We do, yeah. We do 5 or 6 main stage productions a year, 2 or 3 shows that are specifically for kids and their families, summer of education programs just all over the place.
That's great. Tell me about the needs of the NextStop Theater Company.
Well, the most important thing we're looking for is audiences, to reach more and more people, as we're growing in our third professional season, to make sure more people know about it so that they'll come out and hopefully buy a ticket to see a show and then maybe become a subscriber and come back more regularly. But as a nonprofit, we're also very much dependent on sponsors and donors to help us get our message out and reach as many people as we can.
Wonderful. And you mentioned the location. As far as buying tickets, the location is right off the Dulles Toll Road, so easy to access.
It is. We're a little hidden back in the business park. A lot of people are surprised to find a theater located in the back of this industrial park, but it's a great little space, and it's wonderfully intimate. With only 114 seats, the back row is only 25 feet from the stage, so there's not a bad seat in the house, and it's a really special and intimate way to experience live theater.
That's great. And there are sponsors and donors can get added perks like reserved seating in the front.
Absolutely, yeah. Our donors can get their seats reserved. Most of our seats are general admission, and we have sponsorships that provide businesses or individuals with advertising in our programs and access to our patron base and other ways of getting their business message out while supporting a really great arts cause.
And Evan, you talk about this being a black box theater. What is a black box theater and what makes that different than other theaters?
Sure, there are a few different typical kinds of theaters. The most traditional kind of theater that most people would imagine in their mind when they think about a theater is one where there is a giant proscenium arch around the stage that sort of frames the actors that you look at them, and then the audience is sort of in a separate room, kind of peering through that frame onto the action of the stage, not unlike you would watch a movie. Another type of theater is a thrust stage where that stage kind of comes out into the room. A black box theater has no frame. Everyone is really in the same room, and it's called a black box because traditionally it's a big black box to start with, and you put the seats in there and the stage, and so our audiences are really in the same room, and so it creates a greater sense of intimacy and frequently more flexibility. We've been able to change the orientation of our audience for certain shows, and really when we build a living room for a set, the audience almost feels like they're in the living room because we can somewhat surround them with the environment of the play. And it's a really unique, again, very intimate, but special way to watch a show that really engages and makes an audience feel like they're a part of the story. And our black box is actually really special in and of itself because it's been around for almost 27 years and was one of the first privately constructed black box theaters, not in a school or on a college campus in America. And that happened right here in Fairfax County in Herndon back in the late 80s. So it's a really unique and special place to see a show.
Yeah, so it sounds like that's worth coming to see it anyway, just to experience that different kind of theater.
Absolutely.
So tell us, how can our viewers learn more about the summer camp opportunities? I think you have a new internship, about the performances that you have throughout the year, and how they can support the NextStop Theater Company.
Yeah, the best way to reach us is by going to our website, which is www.nextstoptheater.org. We also have a Facebook page that you can look us up on Facebook. And we have all information about all of the shows that are coming up. We just announced our lineup for the 2016-2017 season. There's lots of great information about the camps and other opportunities and ways that people can participate in what we do, both in creating theater and helping the company to grow.
Wonderful. So buy your tickets and support local theater.
Absolutely.
Evan Hoffman, thanks so much for joining us today.
Thanks so much for having me.
Stay tuned. We have more Cox Connections after the break.